Hello, my name is Sam. I'm from usephotoshop.com, a free tutorial, template, and photo resource. In this video, I'm going to help you understand the pattern stamp tool in Adobe Photoshop. I'm running the most current version at this time, Photoshop CS5. If you don't already have a image open, go to File, New to create a new file, or go to File, Open to open an existing file from your hard drive. In this case, we'll create a new one, and any old page size will do. We'll do the US paper preset and press OK. And Dreamweaver or Photoshop has created that page for us. I'll zoom in by holding down Control and pressing the plus sign on my keyboard. I can also zoom out by pressing down the minus sign while I hold Control. To find the tool, go to Window, Tools, to open up the Tools palette or the Tools window. The tool is located fifth from the top on the left-hand side, and may be hiding behind the Clone Stamp tool. If it is, simply left-click and hold down, and you will see this menu appear, and you can select the second option, the Pattern Stamp tool. This is in Photoshop CS5, of course. The keyboard shortcut is S, meaning if I'm using another tool and I want to use the Pattern Stamp tool, simply by hitting the letter S on my keyboard, I will be taken back to that tool. Let me show you how it works. I'll zoom in a bit more so you can see what I'm doing, and you will see when I draw there's a pattern. Up here in the menu we have the controls for this pattern. We can change the size. This is like any other brush tool in Photoshop. We can change the brushes, we can use special shapes, we can change the size, the hardness. We can also change the mode, the opacity, flow, and there's a couple features here that I will explain that are unique to this tool. And I will get rid of this by going to Undo and going to Undo Pattern Stamp. And I'll zoom out a bit so you can see my example a bit better. The first option I'm going to look at is Align. And what Align does essentially is aligns the pattern that you're drawing. For instance, I have it disabled right now, and I can draw a pattern here, and you can see I can draw a pattern here, and if I draw something in between, you'll see that it doesn't quite line up. And if I use a more defined brush by bringing up the hardness, you'll be able to see my example much easier. You will see that no matter how hard I try, it's quite difficult to get these to line up. However, if we select Aligned, and we'll undo that, and this time I'm holding down Control, Alt, and pressing the letter Z on my keyboard to undo. You can see I can draw over here, I can draw over here, and when I try and line them up, it lines them up perfectly. So it just aligns the pattern so that no matter how many times you start drawing it again with the brush, the pattern will line up. We also have this option, the Impressionist option. I will undo again to clean our canvas off. Okay, and Impressionist, what that does, I will hover over it and you will see the description here. It essentially looks like paint dabs. So when I draw with this tool, you will see it is taking a selection from the pattern. And if I use a more soft brush, you will see it gives us a different effect. If I use a bigger brush, and I can make my brush bigger by holding down the right bracket key on my keyboard. I can also make it smaller by holding down the left bracket key. And yeah, let's make that a bit smaller so you can see the effect better. There we go. Whoops, and I've switched tools. There we go. And you will see when I draw now, you can create interesting background effects with this. We can change the pattern style by clicking on the pattern up here on the downward arrow, and we will see all our patterns in here. Well, not all of them, some of them, mind you, and it's much easier to see them with the impressionist disabled. We have all these different patterns. Photoshop gives you a bunch of patterns. You can find more by clicking on this sideways arrow here, and clicking down here on this menu. This will give you all kinds of different patterns. For instance, we can go to color paper, and we'll press OK. And for instance, this is a neat one, the yellow lines paper. And if I draw this, you will see it looks like lined paper. You can also load patterns into this tool by clicking on the sideways arrow again and going to load patterns. So that's the pattern stamp tool in Adobe Photoshop. I'm Sam from usephotoshop.com.